for the drive home. Via the gas station. Tomorrow will be our first meeting, which technically we're probably not supposed to have one since we haven't done our background checks yet, but we're kind of, yeah, behind the 8 ball because of the person that's supposed to be coordinator not getting back to me for the last 2 months. All the enrollment stuff has to be in by December 1st. So you kind of have to fast track and push everybody. Gotta figure out what we're doing with Mina, how we're going to work this. Because when we first put out about what day of the week we were going to meet for our meetings, we agreed on Mondays because it was the day that worked for most of the parents. Well, none of us really thought about the fact that Mina was starting school this year and the only way for her to attend a Monday meeting would be to miss school, or one Monday a month. So otherwise, Sam is driving up here at 3 o'clock, attending a 6:30 meeting, and then turning around and driving right back to Walla Walla so that she can go to school on Tuesday. So, or driving up after school on Monday and then she's missing school on Tuesday. But either way, it puts Mina missing a day of school. So, yeah, I don't know. Definitely gonna have to do a little bit more talking and stuff and figure that out. Because obviously I'd want my grand to be part of our club. Unless Sam's schedule changes and she starts getting some weekends off. I don't know how to make it happen. Because I really don't want, her to have to attend all the business meetings by Zoom. Although, I don't... Other than the bonding aspect of all the kids, I don't see a problem with the business meetings being done over the, via Zoom. But, if she was present, then obviously she'd have interaction with kids outside the projects that she's going to be working on. But, the business part of things can be done. I don't know. That's some figuring out to do. So unfortunat't,ely I do have to go to a gas station that is not on the Upside program because I don't trust that I could get to one. I don't know how to get into that gas station. I guess I'm gonna find out since I'm in the turn only lane. Okay, there's no entrance over here. I've never actually stopped at this gas station before, so I'm like, can I get to it from here, I wonder? Would make most sense, wouldn't it? Yep. That was a pain in the booty. Pay for gas, so on and so forth. catch up to you in 2 and 2. Yeah, another $100 down. Because my tank is pretending to be full. It's close enough. I mean, it probably could have hold like another gallon or two maybe, but stopped at 100. I don't even get any cash back on that because of it was a Shell and not a Circle K. But there was a thing on the side of the pump for the Shell that said 10 cents per gallon back on every fill up. So I'm gonna download the app, see if it's true and correct, and we'll go from there. Because while I do really like the Upside app, it is kind of limiting since it's only Circle K and 7-Eleven. I want to get into a position and get myself into a position like I did today where I don't have the option to drive a distance to the gas station. It would be nice to have a second alternative. Whoops! Kid go running across the street trying to hurry, loses his shoe. Oh, whoops. It's totally something I do. I mean, I back out of my shoes all the time on accident. You know, I just go to take a step back and suddenly I have a naked foot and my shoe is right where it was and where my foot used to be. Cows. Keep our kids in masks. No. I don't know about anybody else, but I know in my community, once the mask mandate was lifted, everybody got sick. And I 100, 1,000, 1,000,000% believe that it was because the whole time we were, you know, hand sanitizing, gloved up, masked up, you know, everything else. We depleted our own immunities because we weren't exposing ourselves to anything. You know, and when the masks came off, our immune systems were tanked and couldn't fight anything off. And it was like every time we turn around, somebody else was sick, and it wasn't COVID that people got sick with. I mean, people were getting just common colds, but it was like severe common cold. Or normally it's like, oh yeah, I just don't feel good, I'm going to spend a day in bed. People were resorting to, you know, over-the-counter medications because it was much more severe than any cold they'd ever had. Or it's hung on longer than, you know, colds in their history. And that's still the case, you know, what are we, a year post-mask mandate? And people are still getting sick left and right. And like, we screwed up our immune systems trying to protect ourselves. I know that, you know, I can say that I've had issues since I had had COVID, but I don't know if it's because I had COVID so many times or what, you know. But even like my medical stuff that had been stable my whole life, after getting COVID, everything destabilized, and you know, I've had to start medications that I never wanted to take because levels are in dangerous zones and diagnoses have changed. It's just, you know, I know for me personally, COVID messed up my whole biological system. And I can't imagine that I'm alone in that. And so it's like, I don't know. I definitely don't think we need to keep our kids in masks, though. They need to build natural immunities to the world around them. So that was a fun visit. As I was heading out to the truck, I realized we never went back out to the barn to film the baby bunnies, and I do apologize for that. Maybe next time. I'm sleepy. It's nice to feel loved. Neither of the girls wanted me to leave. They both walked me out to the truck to make sure I didn't fall. So cute. And then they were trying to climb into the truck so I couldn't leave. And I'm like, girls, you guys have got to go see your grandma and grandpa for Sunday night dinner. I got to get home and make dinner for Uncle Chris. Figure out what I'm doing for dinner for Uncle Chris. But, you know, I'm like, remember, you know, the 4-H club is opening back up. We're going to start spending a lot more time together. But for tonight, I got to go. They're like, no. It was so cute. I have no idea. No idea whatsoever what I'm going to make for dinner. I want to cook some of the corn on the cob that I got from Imperfect Foods. But I don't know what I want to cook with it. Can't just eat corn on the cob. It's 3:30. So normally about 4 o'clock is when I would be taking the meat out of the freezer so it's defrosted for the most part by 5 so that I can start dinner at 5. So I'm actually a little ahead of the game now that I'm thinking about it. I do have some chicken left in the refrigerator. I got pork loin in the refrigerator, or in the freezer, sorry. Chicken in the freezer, fish in the freezer, a whole bunch of different kinds of beef in the freezer. Or mashed potatoes. So many dang decisions to make. Things would be so better off for me if I could find like somebody to do all these tasks for me. Like, I think I would enjoy cooking more if I didn't have to do all the prep work ahead of time. Like, if I didn't have to find the recipes, I didn't have to do the grocery shopping, I didn't have to do the thinking. You know, I don't even. This part of it, just trying to even figure out what to make, I despise. And by the time I end up getting to the kitchen to start cooking, I'm in a foul mood. And you know, I think if there was somebody that, you know, at least every morning texted me and said, this is what's for dinner, I might enjoy cooking a little bit more, because then I don't know, you know, it takes the stress out of it. Even better yet would be to have a personal chef, and then I don't have to do any of it, because I don't enjoy cooking at all. I never have. I like just a bunch of casseroles because it was baking. And that is why I enjoy the air fryer and using the pressure canner and stuff, pressure cooker, because, you know, I don't have to stand over it and babysit it. You just stick it in there, turn it on, and go. I hope that's not a fire. I mean, like somebody's home. Oh, look, we'll get some rail fanning too. It would definitely be easier too if I was plain, you know, like my husband is. He could eat the same 3 meals the rest of his life and be perfectly happy with that. And I'm like, as long as it wasn't sandwiches anyway. I could eat sandwiches every night as long as I had different meat. You know, I don't mind a sandwich, you know, but I would hate to eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every night for the rest of my life. You know, as long as I'm able to change the fillings. Having a sandwich every day, I wouldn't care about that, but he does. But, you know, he wouldn't care. I mean, if we had pizza, hamburgers and fries, macaroni and cheese, and rotated those for the rest of his life, he'd be perfectly fine. And I'm like, I need more variety than that. And I think that's what hangs me up, is that finding that variety takes a long time. And then after finding the variety, then I've got to make a grocery list based off of those recipes, and that takes a long time. So by the time that's done, I'm like, bleh, I don't want to go grocery shopping now. Well, then when I finally get to the grocery store, that is physically taxing. So by the time I get home, I'm like, I'm not cooking. You know, so when I'm shopping, I have to plan for something I can just put in the oven. But, you know, I tend to do that anyway. Just because I know I'm going to be hurting by the time I get home. So I try to get something I can just toss in the oven or, you know, pop in the microwave or whatever. But, and then it's, you know, getting the energy to cook it all. And I'm like, oh, I just hate it. I hate the whole process. I really do. And I usually don't, and I hardly ever like really thoroughly enjoy the food either. I'm just like, okay, it's food. It's sustenance. It's keeping me alive. And he's no help. He'll be like, hey, what do you want for dinner? Oh, noodles? You want just plain noodles? No. Okay, what kind of noodles do you want? I don't know. Like, oh, you were no bloody help. One dog. Oh, only one's gonna meet me out here today. I don't know. So I'll have to figure out what I'm making for dinner tonight to go with the corn. Maybe I can talk him into grilling. Haha. And it's not cold. Maybe I talk him into firing up the grill, and then he'll have to do the cooking. I'll have to think about that. Anyway, I'm home. Thanks for tuning back in, and we'll catch up to you later. Bye.